And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he whips that one incomplete there. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think what we're seeing today, partner, is what happens when you have a really good game the previous week. You get a lot more attention from the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It looks to me like they spent a lot of time figuring out tendencies, how they get him the football, and adjusting accordingly.
Well, they've adjusted, and the numbers certainly show that. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll set up a throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And on now is the punter. He's been terrific so far.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And this will be taken at the 13. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back to throw now on first down. He's got time in the pocket, and he's got his man on the out route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Back to throw again. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And as the 4th quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Down to the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And they'll go on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
Let's go!
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. So how many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Extra point attempt to follow here. And that will make this a 4-point game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Now this offense ready to take over again. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the home team here, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for our visitors, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.